Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Boho with the info, and we have new information on the hurricane tropical storm Irma, I guess, or whatever they're calling it. Anyway, I'm giving you guys some new perspective on this. I will post this in the YouTube page, and I'll post it in Twitter. I have some interesting stuff here. I don't know how many of you guys here in the Florida area have gotten an emergency alert, but we have gotten an emergency alert here in Florida. Okay. This is a storm surge warning for everything basically on the west coast of Florida. A storm surge warning. They're predicting, according to your TV news now, they're predicting 3 inches and anywhere from 1 to 3 feet above average. Now, here's what they're not saying, and I'm going to go into it big time. Here's where the storm is at Tuesday at 8 a.m. As you can tell, Elsa is probably horizontal with Bonita Springs in Florida, off the west coast of Florida. It's roughly anywhere from 150 to 250 miles into the Gulf as for the eye, not the actual rain bands. What's going to hurt Florida on the west coast is the rain bands. As I'm seeing it right now, according to what I have, not what you're listening to on your TV, is a little bit different. I'm showing everything to the lowest point here, which is Marco Island area, all the way up to Fruitville, Sarasota area. Right at 11 a.m., the big band starts coming in on the west coast of Florida. Here's the thing. If you guys live around a canal, a river, a stream, a creek, a lake, a pond, or any kind of waterway, even if it has a river that has a dam or something, there is a high potential of it flooding or breaching, okay? Especially the homeowners that might be living around a canal area, because if there's debris and they didn't clear your debris, it can back up, which means it could flood in your backyard. Now, you have roughly about 36 hours, maybe, not even that, according to them, from what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the first phase to hit southwest Florida at 11 a.m. on Tuesday morning, which is the 7th, okay? Now, this is at 2 p.m. on Tuesday the 7th. Basically, everything from Fort Myers area all the way up into Sarasota, they're predicting anywhere from 1 to 3 inches dropping. I don't know if it's per hour or per 3-hour situation on them, but I can tell you this with just the wind gusts, because you've got a little bay area here in Charlotte County. You're seeing the rain bands going in that kind of direction, which could push the water up into Charlotte Harbor, which means everything in downtown Punta Gorda will probably be flooded, including PGI area, Burnt Store, because all of everything in Punta Gorda is pretty much low lying. So predict it will probably flood out your situation there. Even Arcadia has the Peace River. The Peace River also seeing it go above the actual flood level there, about 3 feet. I'm looking at maybe a little bit more in certain areas. And then also a lot of flooding from low-lying areas in the Arcadia area as well, because the Peace River goes through that connects all the way over to, the big lake there. Now, as for Sarasota County, as this thing is coming on, let me go back to the actual rainfall, because it's not so much the wind. Yes, there's going to be a problem at the beach. This tying down thing of all your little, chairs and stuff may not be enough, because what I'm seeing is if there's any kind of storm surge that all of a sudden brings a gust, it could create an actual water spout or tornado coming off the Gulf of Mexico and going into land. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. So let me look at it on Tuesday around 2 p.m. Let me go back here. Hang on a minute. All right, so around 2 p.m., we have all these different swales of rainfall that will be coming in on the west coast. Let me go into Tuesday. And the pinpoint part of it hasn't hit landfall. What you have to worry about is these seriously heavy rain bands that are coming in. These are creating around 3 to 5 inches worth of rain. So right now at 2 o'clock, Elsa is basically horizontal with Cape Coral, Fort Myers area. Okay. And then by 5 o'clock, it's horizontal to, let me give you a pinpoint here, to Sarasota beaches and county, basically. And at that point in time, we're got 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. The blunt of it is like, I mean, I've saw really big rainfall, like 4 inches just now. Give me a minute. Right there, 4.25 was it? Let me look here. That's on the northern end of the storm. But everything you see here in red is wrapping around everything in Southwest Florida so far. That's going to be coming in Tuesday from 11 a.m. on forward. Everything all the way down to the Everglades is going to be affected with this heavy rainfall. It's not so much a wind thing other than a gust thing, wind gust that could create a tornado or create a water spout coming off the Gulf of Mexico. What you need to worry about and fear more about is the actual flooding. Flooding is going to be the number one issue on this storm. Now, as I progress this into Tuesday at 8 p.m., you're going to see the rain bands kind of stick around here to Fort Myers all the way down to Bonita Springs. Kind of split in half, gave Charlotte County a little bit of a break, but everything in Sarasota on north to Tampa is still getting hammered at 8 o'clock at night with rain, heavy rain. And then at 11 p.m. on Tuesday, this is where it gets a little nuts. This heavy squall starts to redo itself again. And Bonita Springs, Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, even parts of Charlotte Harbor and Charlotte County could see about 2 inches through Sarasota, okay, at 11 p.m. at night. At this time, at 11 p.m., the eye of the storm is horizontal to Tampa. And it's still moving on a track to north-northwest right now, as I'm seeing it. And as this is moving further in, it actually at 2 a.m. inches closer to the horizontal area of Bonita or Spring Hill area. So Tampa, Spring Hill area is going to get their heavy showers at 2 a.m. But here's the thing. Everything in Southwest Florida still didn't get this. The rain didn't go away. Okay. It's still there because what's happening is these rain bands are kind of splitting and they're whipping around and they're unleashing still heavy rain in Bonita Springs and Cape Coral and Fort Myers area more so. Okay. That's at 2 a.m. So watch for flash flooding from anywhere from 8 p.m. to really early hours of Wednesday morning on the 7th. Okay. If you don't have sandbags, I don't know, but you better get floaters on important stuff. Okay. Let's see what else here. And if you're on a beach, more than secure stuff that might be chairs, you need to pull it in completely because I do see possibility of tornadoes or water spouts coming off the Gulf of Mexico, hitting into Southwest Florida, at any point in time from everything from Bonita Springs on up north. So right now at 5 a.m. on Wednesday morning, right now the storm is horizontal to basically Cedar Key area. It's still moving on east at this time to northeast a little bit. So it's moving a little bit more east. At this time, it's dumping tons of water still in, let's see here. Bonita Springs, Fort Myers, and Gainesville at 8 a.m. on Wednesday morning. At 11 a.m. on Wednesday morning, this time it's starting to increase on the showers because of the rain bands, the way they're being wrapped around. And there is things in the Gulf, which I'm going to show you over here. I don't know if you guys remember all that explosion in the Gulf, but it has created a havoc on the weather system right now. So you have this huge cell that is all over the western part of the Gulf of Mexico. For let's say diagonally from I'm going to say Louisiana area, including Louisiana Gulf Cove area that's dumping heavy rain, but also this here on the western part of the Gulf of Mexico, which is your eastern area of Texas, and around that, if you want to know areas, even all the way down to the Mexican border. Okay, through Corpus Christi, through Victoria, all the way up through Houston. Houston at 11 a.m. is getting dumped with about 3 inches worth of rain. And then we have Louisiana area over here. We have like, let's see what area this is. This looks pretty heavy right here. I don't know if it will show me or not. But all this has a factor because what's happening is this moisture from this explosion supposedly in the Gulf of Mexico is creating havoc on the weather system, which is creating almost like a steam bath, like a sauna in the Gulf of Mexico. And so what's happening with the storm over here in Florida, it's basically sucking up this sauna moisture from that situation on the western part of the Gulf of Mexico, and it is getting engulfed by these rain bands. Okay, so they're not going to stop. They're still continuing. So at 11 a.m. on Wednesday, we have even in Charlotte Harbor area and parts of Sarasota with rain starting up again from the whipping around type thing of the rain bands on Wednesday. And at 2 p.m. on Wednesday the 7th, this thing actually looks like it starts to make landfall, and I'll show you that in a minute. But all of Florida is not out of this storm because what's happening is these rain bands are going through the whole state of Florida, including the east side. So even like Wednesday at 2 p.m., you're thinking, okay, yeah, the East Coast is all clear. No, it's not. What's happening is these rain bands also went over there, and they're like, dumping 3 inches over in West Palm and Port Lucie and Palm Bay and Orlando and all that, right? But here's where it gets really interesting as this system is exploding. The actual eye right now, what I'm seeing, is hitting like near Perry, Hampton Springs, Roach area, exactly like I said before. It really hasn't changed. It's really near Tallahassee as it comes on. At that point in time, at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, it's actually dumping water, a lot of it down on the Palm Coast, Gainesville, and Jacksonville area. And then see this mess over here? This is, and I'll blow it back down so you guys can see the perspective, because people don't realize, especially the meteorologists that you're watching on TV, they don't give you this information, okay? And so what I'm showing you is from this little explosion that we had and the problems that we had in the Gulf over here, in the Gulf of Mexico with the fire and all that, is creating that moisture in that sauna. And so what's happening is we've got like this cell right here that's lying over Nuevo Laredo area of Texas and Mexican border. Even though it's a circular thing, it's not, not exact. And so what's happening is it's bringing this moisture in the Gulf, and it's developing these rain bands. As the wind shears and goes into, let's say over here at Louisiana, Mississippi area, you can see how it's splitting into it. And what's happening is you can see right here where it's starting to grab it, and it's grabbing it and bringing it into Florida. And that's what it's been doing all along the time. That's why we have more rainfall than normal in a tropical system because of this pulling of the moisture from all of this stuff over here. See? So, yeah. And as this thing is going into Florida, it kind of dissipates. But the problem is, with it going in an eastern northeastern wind situation, it's pulling all this other stuff on the western part of the Gulf of Mexico with it. So all this is going to come over to the western part of Florida eventually. Okay. And some of it on land as well, with all the different states like Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, all that area, coastal wise, and probably in the mid part of the states and stuff. Then on top of it, since this system is going to be trying to leave, let me blow this out so you can see another perspective on this. People on the eastern seaboard of the United States is not out of it either, because there's also some wind bands also being created over in the Atlantic side. So what's happening is it's going like this in a circular motion. So what's happening, it's pulling this way too, which means this is going to go up like that. So yeah, so let me go into 5 p.m. on Wednesday. And believe it or not, Southwest Florida is still having showers still. You can see in this little picture right here how much Florida is covered with showers still, just from the storm all the way through the dinner hour on Wednesday. And as this progresses into nighttime, remember all that stuff I showed you on the western part of the Gulf of Mexico? Guess what? Everything is being affected now in Mexico, as well as Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi. Everything in the Gulf region is being affected by that problem from all the moisture and stuff like that. So even Torreon, Monterey, you're having some rain on Wednesday, which is going to be about half an inch. Torreon, I'm looking at about quarter to half an inch. And then Houston, you're out of the woods for a little bit. And then over here in Florida and Georgia area, you're looking at about Jackson area over into the state borderline of Georgia, about inch and a quarter, inch and a half type situation at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. At 11 p.m. on Wednesday the 7th, this is all the 7th, by the way. For some reason, it intensifies. It must have hit over there on the Atlantic side a little bit. The eye is actually intensified. So right here in South Carolina, this is the towns: Docktown, Jessup, Drawdy, Odessa. I'm seeing a lot of rainfall there, about 2.5, almost close to 3 inches of dropping from the system there at 11 p.m. at night. So this might be also another overnighter type situation for the eastern coast of the United States. Okay. So this is what we're going to look at. And while I'm talking about this, Thursday, you still got tons of showers in Mexico yet. I did hear reports about 2 or 3 days ago on the west part of Mexico, they had a flash flood situation. Not sure. I haven't checked into that, but some of you guys might have already seen it in the news. I'm not sure. But as of Thursday the 8th, this system, even though the eye is on land in around North and South Carolina, it's still following the eastern seaboard of the United States. I'm taking a track here for you guys to see through all of the eastern seaboard here, if I can get it all going for you guys. So what's happening is, see what's happening? They're sucking the moisture into the eastern seaboard because it's like this. So it's bringing in the moisture from the Atlantic side, hitting everything on the coastal areas to the mid-state areas. Okay. Everything is around anywhere from an inch or higher from what I'm seeing on this so far. This is at 8 p.m. So we even have a situation coastal wise up here with, let's see what town this is here. to give you some perspective, Lexington Park, Reg Point Beach, California Beach, I guess, Lane Beach, all that area. So I'm seeing 1.5 inches there. And then we're also seeing possibility where it might even go into New York here on overnight hours. Yep, that's what I thought. So the system is definitely look like it's going to hit New York. This is going to be Thursday overnight wise, 11 p.m. to wee hours in the morning on Saturday or Friday the 9th. So Thursday, Friday. Oh, yeah, you got a problem. So if you're living in New York, let me see what towns these are. In New York on Friday early morning AM hours, 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. kind of region. Ellis Corner, Twin Rivers, Princeton Meadows, Hampton Square area. I'm seeing it, an actual eye on top of you, and it's dumping about almost 2 inches type situation. Let me see if you guys have any wind gust situation with that, because that's going to be a problem, because I know how low lying some of that area is. It's not too bad. You're still about 45, 50 miles an hour kind of thing. It's still going to bring in that Atlantic surge. And then this is around 2 a.m. So I know New York doesn't sleep, which is a good thing, because you're going to need to be awake on this. This could actually flood all the subways up there and stop any kind of bus run, taxi service, etc. And this is hitting the whole island of Long Island as well. This is around 5 and 8 a.m. And then it moves further up north at 11 a.m. Between 8 and 11 a.m. it hits Boston. Not too bad, about 1 inch per hour. And then around, at the most, about 2 p.m. in the afternoon, it should be going out. It looks like it's starting to go out where it's on the Canadian border and also Newfoundland area, possibly around 2 p.m. on Friday. All right, so someone was asking me about travel-wise on this storm. Here's the thing. Okay, you guys saw my warning, right? I'll show it again. This is for the whole western area of Florida. Okay. So they're planning on a lot of streets flooding. So this is not going to be travelable. Not going to be travelable. All right, let me go back to, pardon me on that one. I had to burp. Let me go back to 2 o'clock. I'm going to blow up Florida, but you guys can see the system between Mexican, Texas, Gulf of Mexico, Florida, right? Okay, so there's a big line of this squall of different rain situations from the Gulf of Mexico. So let me go into Florida. Let me see if I can pop that up and give you guys more of a pinpoint on highways, because I know a lot of truckers use 75 10, Highway 10, that connects the East Coast to the West. 41, or Tamiami Trails, they call it. A1A, even on the East Coast. I-4 that connects to Tampa to the East Coast, that goes through Orlando and Disney. Let me get you a little bigger perspective on that. And all this stuff that some of the meteorologists are doing for the fear porn on the flooding, you know, you guys know better. You know what I'm saying? It's a fear porn. That's what the meteorologists are doing, a bunch of fear porn. I'm showing you real stuff here, okay? And they're also backing up with their advertisers too. So that's why they're doing certain things. So here is, let me backtrack here because I know this is earlier in Tuesday. So I'm going to pin out some cities. So here's Bonita Springs, here's Cape Coral, here's Lehigh, Northport, Sarasota, Venice, Sarasota, Bradenton, Tampa, okay? So this is at 11 a.m. This is where the trouble starts on Tuesday. All right, this is 11 a.m. And I'm recording in Bonita Springs with severe thunderstorms at that time period and 2.5 inches. Cape Coral, you're going to have some problems traveling down there on Burnt Store Road. You're looking at about almost close to 2 inches. Charlotte Harbor, around Inglewood area, Boca Grande, Charlotte Harbor, let's see, Punta Gorda, about an inch, inch and a quarter. And then Northport and Venice at that time is about a 1/2 inch. Now we're going to progress it to 2 p.m. Here's 2 p.m. This is where some of the heavier stuff, you see this big blob coming in. That blob in the Gulf, if you want to know perspective, is almost 4 inches of rainfall right there, okay? This is at 5 p.m. So right now, Northport and Venice is getting hammered about 1.5 inches per hour. At 8 p.m., it kind of splits where it's still in Sarasota and like down here in Lee County in Bonita Springs. The eye is pretty much horizontal to, let's say, Venice Beach, I'm going to say. Venice Beach, you better have your heads up on this one, too. This thing is going to pop. All right, and then at 11 p.m., between 8 and 11 p.m., a lot of those big red blobs that came through from 8 until 11 p.m. were coming on shore from Fort Myers, Bonita Springs, all the way up north to Sarasota, Bradenton. And at this time, there is some wind shear happening in St. Petersburg, it looks like right here. So the St. Petersburg beach, yeah, that white sand, you might as well kiss that puppy goodbye. And same thing with Sarasota Beach, Venice Beach, Inglewood Beach. And seriously, with here's an interesting perspective. I wonder how that's going to affect Boca Grande. Give me a minute here. I want to see something. I'm going to go back to 8 and 11 because Boca Grande is an island off of Charlotte Harbor area, and they get hit on all sides. So give me a minute here. Let me see. Yeah, in fact, they probably would be closing down any bridges. Think about that too, guys, when you're traveling. Any bridges that connect over any rivers may be closed, like the Peace River, the Caloosahatchee River. If you're going to any islands like Boca Grande or Minnesota Key area, or I don't know, whatever, Myakka River, all that stuff may be closed down due to not only flooding, but surging. So yeah, and then let's see what else here. So yeah, we're going to have some interesting weather coming up here overnight. If you're living in low-lying areas, be advised of flash flooding potentials there, as well as, and I'm going to say this, there may be possibly periodic power failures. So make sure you have your candles, your flashlights, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Any of that stuff could go down. Let's see what else here. So yeah, and then like I say, I'm saying around 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. is going to be probably the heaviest part of the storm come through all western coast of Florida, and that's going to extend from Bonita Springs all the way up here towards let me go into the 11 o'clock here, the pinpoint, because it's really close to Tallahassee as this is coming in. So give me a minute here. Whoops, we're on. Okay, here we go. Bear with me. And also, too, I might try to get you guys other reports and other news if I can. It's weather permitting, though. Okay, guys? So, let's see here. All right, so 8. So, at 8 p.m., pretty much anything in Tampa area, you have a lot of different issues that's going to happen. You got flooding, heavy rain, storm surge, beach erosion, basically the top 5, okay? Possible even tornadoes or water spouts for you guys. And then Wednesday, let's see where we're at. And this is going to be an overnighter, so don't plan on sleeping because you never know when they do that alert for a tornado, right? So landfall is going to be approximately, from what I'm seeing so far, according to what I'm looking at on the maps and everything. Let's pinpoint that puppy right there. Give me a minute. We'll pull it up for you guys. Well, if it wants to. Okay, I guess evidently it doesn't want to. Okay. So anyway, I'm looking probably about maybe 250 miles west of Gainesville, right here in the Gulf where it's going to make landfall, right where you see my little hand there. Okay, that's where the eye is. And then the swirly part of it is over here by Gainesville. Gainesville is going to get some rain too. And this part here, which is north of Ocala, let's see, about 1.5 inches maybe. I don't know. Evidently, the weather system's messing up a lot of this stuff that I'm looking at. So, but anyway, you guys get a perspective of what's going to happen. Just make sure that you get whatever you can get now, I guess. And, you know, if you have power failure, that you got something to back up your situation with. And then if you flood, of course, that too, deal with that. And we'll try to stay on the air, and I'll give you as much information as I can on the flooding issues possibly, or any kind of tornadic situation. So I'll do what I can, but if I can't come to you guys, look towards my Twitter page, and I'll run feeds that way the best I can, providing I have power and I have electricity to do so. All right. And you guys know that I'm located up in Sarasota. So, hey, you know, it is what it is. It's not the first rodeo that I've did on any kind of hurricane storm stuff. This will make my 5th or 6th now. But anyway, all right. So this is Boho with the info. Any questions on anybody? No? Okay. All right. Then we're over and out. We'll see you next time. I'll try to do a separate show tonight, providing on another topic. So look forward to that in my Twitter page. And if you guys want to support the channel, please do so via PayPal. The links are scrolling around the bottom, as well as in the YouTube video page under About, and the regular home YouTube page, About, and Twitter page. Until next time, this is Boho with the info. We're over and out. We'll see you next time.